What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? This is Real Talk Football, episode 9, and I'm here with my guy, Coach KG, and here I am, Rock Too Easy. See, I've been sipping on the wine, so you already know I've been tripping out here, man. I already been tripping out here, but we got some college upsets. We got the big games to cover. We got some trades in the NFL. We got some high school to talk about. We got a crazy old man that's the owner to talk about. And we about to go live, baby. Let's go.
Let's go, Cowboys! Hey! Hey, let me get one. Hey! Let's fucking go! It's about that motherfucker. Y'all motherfuckers have me flipped on. Nigga, give me the motherfucker. Right. Oh!
What up, gang?
What's going on, big dog?
You see that XXL wine? Yeah, that joint hit. I took 2 sips and I'm already fumbling words.
Yeah,
That
you was
XX.
tripping. And you
What
was
a-
tripping because you said episode 9, and this is episode 19.
19.
People, he wilding already. You know my dog is crazy. But what's going on, people? Make sure you tap on that like button. You tap on that subscribe button, and you make sure you share our pages: YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram. Listen, we got a big show today, bro. But before we get to the show, how you doing, big dog?
Oh, man, I'm good, dog. I'm good. Been a long day, long week. My birthday weekend coming up.
Yes,
Your boy getting
sir.
old out here.
Yeah.
Your boy is getting old.
Hey, don't say that because now you know I'm older than you. Don't be talking about you getting old. So we can't even do that around here.
Oh man, yeah, nah, dog. I'm good, man. I'm ready to take this week off next week. Just relax the mind and the body, man.
Yeah.
Everybody needs it. Everybody needs that stuff,
Yes,
man.
sir.
How you feeling?
I'm good, man. Like you said, it's always good to take a break because being a wife took a mental health day yesterday from work, much needed. Took the kids to school. We went out to breakfast, did a little thrift shopping for the kiddos, and
There you go.
came home nice and relaxed. Didn't have to worry about nothing. No kids running around being crazy. So it was good. It's good to just reset sometimes, like you said. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. Especially with these damn holidays kicking up.
Right.
You know it's about to get crazy out here.
Coming. They coming.
Hell yeah. Definitely about to get crazy.
All right, people, you ready?
Yeah,
Are you
let's do
ready
this.
for the show? Let's get it popping. Hey,
Let's do
we had some breaking news.
Mhm.
We got a couple things to cover, but let's start with the New York Jets, my guy. Everybody knows Davante Adams was shipped to the New York Jets from the Raiders for a 3rd round conditional pick, a pick that can turn into a second if Davante Adams is named to all pro team, or the Jets make it to an AFC championship and Super Bowl. That would turn into a 2nd round pick for the Raiders. My guy, I want to ask you, what does this do after a loss to the Bills, where I think we both would agree that they should not have lost that game on Monday. They had that game won. A lot of mistakes at the end of that game in the second half. Now sitting at 2-4 in the AFC, where we already know it's tough to get in the playoffs in that division. A lot of loaded teams over there.
Right.
What does this do for their playoff chances now sitting at 2-4? And what does it do for them maybe even going on a run to win the division?
Right. I think, well, still at the end of the day, you don't have a line to block for Aaron Rodgers. But as you can see, they demoted Hackett, move other guy up. I can't remember his name. So they're trying to be more balanced. They're trying to run the ball more, get Hall involved, in which I like what they did and how they were doing it. Trying to get the ball out fast, but it still doesn't protect Aaron Rodgers. He's still getting killed. Tyron Smith, bro, we love you. You're a Hall of Famer, but you're done, bro. You're done. You can't block worth nothing. So they got to get back healthy. They're still missing guys on defense. I think the linebacker still isn't back. Mosley, he still isn't back. But overall, I think that they still have a chance to make the playoffs, even though they are at 2-4 due to how the division is. Because if you really want to get down to the get down, they are 10th right now in the AFC.
Yep.
So they're 10th in the NFC, right behind Miami. Miami's going to lose out. Behind Denver. Denver, they're beating teams. The defense is on intact, but they can still lose out to their schedules. The Colts, I don't see the Colts going to the playoffs.
Right.
And that's right there. They just got to get to 7.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think that, like I've been saying this to you before, I said that they could still make the playoffs, and they're still not far and away from the Bills to catch up. I mean, the Bills 4-2, granted.
Right.
They still have a good amount of tough games going forward with them. You're not worried about New England, so that's 2 games you can win. You're not worried about Miami because they stink without a quarterback, and who knows when Tua's coming back.
Right.
So they can still go on a run and win a lot of They can still have a lot of winnable games. Starting with, they can beat the Steelers. To be honest with you, don't let that record fool you. Them being at 4-2, they got the Steelers, then the Jets,
2-4.
I mean, then they got the Patriots.
Yeah.
They got the Steelers and the Patriots. They got the Texans. They'll lose to the Texans. Arizona's a tough game. I think they'll beat the Colts. Seahawks is a tough game, but it's not at Seattle. You got the Dolphins. That's a win. You got the Jaguars. I don't know. I mean, it depends.
Oh, here you go. Bias.
So you got the Jaguars. You got the Rams. The Rams they're mad injuries. Then you're right back playing the Bills again. That could be a redemption game, but we'll see how that goes. Then you're finishing off with the Dolphins. They got a lot of winnable games finishing out the season. So, yeah,
before you pass it off to me, before I put my take on it, what do you think Adams can do for the offense, period? Do you think he helps the offense? Do you think he maybe holds some other guys back, help the run game? What's your thoughts?
Oh, my God. 100% he helps that because he has that chemistry, and he knows him and Aaron have that chemistry where he knows where to be at for Aaron, And so you're going to need that on this offense due to him getting the ball out so fast. I need you to be at your spots, and you got to take less attention off Garrett Wilson. You move him to the slizot, and Devontae out, and honestly they can rotate because Devontae go to that slot. Garrett Wilson got 67 targets, bro. 67 targets that early in the season. You're taking as much, and then you got Lazard, who you seen that crazy ass halftime catch that he had. Right. You got Garrett Wilson, you got Lazard, and then you got him. And like I said, you're getting he can get in position, get to the spots where Aaron Rodgers needs you to get to because he's getting the ball out fast. This is what's going to move the chains for you. So now if you're getting your Breece Hall 3-yard run, now you get a third and manageable, or 3-yard run, 2-yard run, you got a third and manageable. Now you know, all right, Devontae, hit this hour real quick, hit this hitch real quick because they're gonna play off me. Now, boom. Now we're gonna move the chains out. So that's what I think that will do for them.
Right. I think I'm with you in agreement that it does help the offense. I don't know if it, like you mentioned earlier about the offensive line, I don't know if it's gonna help them out. But the run game has been intact, so I still believe they're going to run the ball. Now you're going to have less guys in the box. You're going to have to double team Adams, and if Adams is not getting off, okay, cool. And then you got Wilson. If he's getting off, do you double him too? Do you roll the coverage over there, and then now Adams or Lazard's open? You know what I mean? Or you got your backs open and Braylon Allen and Breece Hall. So it opens up a lot for them on offense. I see more defenses being in too high now rather than having that one safety back there playing cover 1 or cover 3. So I think
the run game now.
Yeah, so the run game was already intact in my opinion. You had Breece Hall run.
They just weren't doing it enough.
But Breece Hall ran over 100 last week. He went
crazy
on Monday night. For me, I think it helps for in regards to Adams. I think it does help Rodgers. It helps the run game. I think ultimately it does help Wilson. You know what I mean? Adams is on the older side. He can be a mentor for Wilson. You can learn more from Adams. And then even though it may hurt his targets, it's going to help in development later down the road for him, whether he stays with the Jets or he goes to another team in his career. But overall, though, for me, it doesn't put them over the top. It's too many teams that are better than them. It's not going to get them to the Super Bowl unless unless you see a bunch of injuries, which knock on, you don't want that to happen to any superstar players or any good players at all, or any player for that. So I don't really think it takes them over the top, really, for anything with this move. They need more than that. Even though their defense has been playing well, they really not been playing well at the same time, though. They're getting timely.
It's weird.
They're getting timely stops, and then you got Aaron was playing good, and then all of a sudden they couldn't move the ball, and just it didn't look good.
A lot of bad things happened in the red zone. That score should have been higher than what it was.
They're not scoring in the red zone either. Like you got to score touchdowns in this league. You can't be getting field goal. And you saw what Josh Allen did. He did what he was supposed to do and got that win. And now they got a 2-game lead on the division.
Yeah, definitely. All right, man. We'll see how that the rest of the season finishes out for them, and then like I said, we being as though that Miami technically is ahead of them because they was on a bye week. Tua comes back if he comes back, and we'll see if they were able to turn it around. Because right now, I got them not doing a damn thing. I got Tyreek Hill on my bench on fantasy, dog. That's how bad it is.
Yeah, it sure is. You're right.
Super bad, man. Oh my goodness. But that's one trade down. On to the other. You know, while the Jets made that trade, the Bills said, "Oh, well, I'm gonna show you this right here. Send a 3rd-round pick to the Browns and a 7th rounder for Amari Cooper, and to get back a 6th rounder." I'm trying to understand his here. I hate to bring it back over to the Cowboys. The Cowboys sent this man over to the Browns for a 5th-round goddamn pick. What, 2-3 years ago? Mm-hmm. This man is 2-3 years older, and they flipped the 3rd-round pick around for this guy, man. What? Mm-hmm. Oh, man, it's a mess. Mm-hmm. But so what you think about this? How do you think this helps the Bills?
Yeah, man, I looked at their schedule. It does cover this for them, though. It does cover a wide receiver 1 need for them that they needed, even though they drafted Keon Coleman. He's a rookie. There's a lot to put on him as a young guy. He could be a mentor for Keon. Helps the rest of the wide receiving core, takes off coverage for them, opens them up a little bit more, especially Dalton Kincaid in the middle of the field and then up the seams. And this one too, I mean, Josh may have less to do now because he has a main guy he can target. You know what I mean? And he's not going to be that guy like Diggs screaming for the ball. He's a quiet guy, does what he needs to do. He creates separation. Now, this is going to help with defenses not just going straight to man-to-man coverage with them because Amari Cooper is a guy who's a man. He can beat man coverage. So you ain't gonna be able to play man to man on him because he gonna create separation and get open. And then this one, just like the last move to the Jets, this don't move the needle for me either. Yeah, you could win the division, but where else you going?
Right.
Your defense is solid. You don't have you got Josh. You add Cooper. You just got Josh on offense. He's got to be Superman every week. You don't want that out of your quarterback, man. So I don't believe they sitting at the top of the division. They top 4 right now in the AFC, which is great. You get in. But are you going to win the first playoff game just because you home and then lose the next week? Whether it's you playing the Ravens or going to the Chiefs, I don't know. Mm-hmm. So, good for the Bills. I'm glad they got somebody, but I think they need help on defense. They don't really have a pass rush, even though those teams, they've been playing well, though. I will say that. They've been playing well on defense. Coach McDermott is always going to have his team ready to play, especially on defense. So offensively, they got the need they needed. Let's see what happens this following week if Cooper even plays.
Right.
I think passing the physical, I think it'll be fine. But see how little the playbook may be. Who knows?
Right. Yeah, I think this definitely does help them, but it doesn't move the needle. But you are getting a wide receiver 1. Dude, 2022, he had 1,100 yards. 2023, he had 1,200 yards. So he's still out here catching wreck. My only problem with Coop is always been his problem since he was in Oakland. Dude just mentally checks out games. So where you got a dude who will mentally check out a game and just disappear and just stay quiet compared to a Diggs where if he ain't getting to seeing the ball, you gonna hear about it, you know. Right. So it's what you're getting for him. He's still productive. He can still do what he does. He's still one of the top 5 best route runners in the league. Mm-hmm. So he definitely helps them, but it does not move the needle for them. Hopefully James Cook will be back, and then the young boy who took over, he went crazy too.
Well,
So
really
and
well.
yeah, and that's what we were saying a couple of weeks ago, where it was like just the Bills started getting away from themselves and putting more on Josh Allen, having him throw the ball more when you had a good running game. So now we're seeing you got two good running backs.
Right.
Keep that balance that you got in your defense, who's been keeping you in these games and doing what they need to do once they get out on that field. So I don't see they might win a playoff game depending who they match up against.
Mhm.
You know,
Well,
they're
they can get in that top 4 and get
right.
on.
Yeah. Yep. Because you got it going to Buffalo in January.
Hard to do.
Granted,
Yeah.
Josh Allen choked against Burrow. Burrow had no lineman and went up there and cooked them in the snow.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that turns out. Like I said, this is an AFC fight to the finishes. That's where I feel like it's turning out to be, and we'll see who comes out on top.
Yeah.
It
may come down. It may come down. Not may. I think it will come down to them tiebreaker games.
Yep.
At the end of the season, who gets that 5 to 7 or 6 and 7 seed at the end of the year, come week 17 and 18.
Definitely, and not even just that, because that when they play Buffalo again, that's the second to last game.
Mm-hmm.
That could be for the division right there.
We're talking about for the Jets, not Buffalo.
Yeah. That could be for the division right there, for all we know.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. All right, listen, man. Moving on to your twin. Your boy, Jerry Jones, man. He had a lot to say to a couple radio hosts a couple days ago after the game. He lost on his birthday. He was a little upset. You know what I mean? You got the clip for us? You got the audio?
You ready?
Yeah, man. Go ahead and play that thing, man.
Can you hear it?
Looking back at decisions. Okay, so Jerry, 1970, a little different from this past off season in building the team we're talking about today, which there was a lot of criticism that you guys didn't add, didn't spend, and don't add, and don't spend, and are not aggressive enough with some of the problems that are still haunting the Cowboys today that we see play out on the field. That's the point of talking about the off season.
I remember those criticisms very well. Okay, so what?
This man,
to be accurate.
This man said, "So what?"
My point is, it seems like.
Let me tell you what I'll do. I will let us sit down and look at the decisions we've made over the last several years. Okay, I'll look at it. Now, if you think I'm interested on a phone call with you over radio and sitting here and throwing all the good out with the dishwater, you have got to be smoking something over there.
Bro, he's really crazy.
Crazy.
He's really crazy. Like, the thing is, what I took from it was that, like, because he told it towards the end, and he said that he was pretty much going to get Bull fired for asking questions.
Sean Sharif, yep. Mm-hmm.
What you come on the show for? If you're going to try to get somebody fired because they asking you the questions that you don't like the questions? Because he asking you the truth, trying to get the truth out, and you want to be a fraud that you've been being a fraud for the last 30 years ever since you took over? Mm-hmm. Take some accountability for not upgrading the wide receiver room, not upgrading the running back room, not upgrading the defensive line and getting more depth in the back end at safety and corner. You did this, man. You supposed to be this GM. Don't act like I don't draft well. And It ain't about just drafting. You don't do nothing. Free agency, you don't spend money. You keep people on contracts longer than they need to be. You sign players to these crazy deals and they don't know how to structure contracts the right way. So they screw up the cap every year. You paid a man $60 million to be mediocre. And we got one weapon on offense, and it's CeeDee Lamb, and all defense have to do is double him, and we got nothing else because we don't got no run game. So if you this great GM, whose fault is it then if it ain't yours? What was your thoughts on it, bro? That's your man. That's your twin. That's your man.
Hold on. See, the difference in me, I won't get mad and defensive. You know,
Facts.
I'm own my wrongs.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I'm a winner at all costs.
Mm-hmm.
And that's who that man was when he came into this league.
Mm-hmm.
A winner at all costs.
Yep.
And I think he had a couple experiences in the early 2000s that bit him in the ass. So
Mm-hmm.
now he's scared to spend. That trade for Roy Williams didn't pan out.
Yep.
You know, that picking up Brandon Carr didn't pan out.
Facts.
That was in the early mid 2000s, bro.
It's almost 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah, that was the last time we spent top dollar for a top free agent.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so now you have PTSD and you're scared to go out and spend some money.
Right.
Scared to go out there and cut a check on somebody. And let you tell it, oh, there's a check I want cash to win another Super Bowl. Bro, let's be honest with you. The fact that you are the highest gross owner in the league every year, that is your Super Bowl right there. You don't need a ring because your bread is coming in fluently every single year. Your bread is coming in top dollar every single time, and there's no way around that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to be great, dog. We talk about this all the time with anybody. You say you want to be great, but you ain't putting the work in, bro. You're not putting the work in. Do we draft well for the most part? Yes, we do draft well. There's no way around that at all. But when it comes to like, all right, we short this. Let me go get this to put us over the top. You never do it. When's the last time? You can't even name the last time we drafted a stud D tackle. The last stud D tackle we had was Jay Ratliff. Jay Ratliff, bro. How long ago was that? That's when we had Wade Phillips as our coach.
Yep.
Last time we had a solid safety was Barry Church. Solid.
Wow.
Solid. You know?
I don't even think he was that solid, but,
he made a Pro Bowl. I mean, he was solid. He did his job. That's what he just gets back there on these back end guys. So it's just like, you're not serious, bro. You're not serious about any of these things that you say, and you don't take no criticism. You don't want to hear being talked down on, but you want your ass kissed.
Right. That's not gonna happen.
At any given moment. And not even just that. You paid CD a week before the season started. You paid Dak that morning of week 1.
Facts.
With yourself. He's a whole nut ass old head. Get out of here, man. Out of here, man. Nut ass.
All right.
Making my name. Hold on, you making my name and my sign look bad, man. You're making the Libras look bad out here, man.
Listen, man. We ain't gonna spend too much time. I don't want my man to get frustrated. I ain't gonna get frustrated on this show neither, because we all know before the season started they was gonna be trash.
Yeah, facts. We knew that.
We are probably two of the most realist Cowboys that there is, because we see it before it's coming. And we ain't on the delusion that we win a Super Bowl everywhere. We win a Super Bowl. We're not one of those Cowboys fans that say we're gonna win a Super Bowl, because we can see it. The roster is not there. So moving on, do your thing. Forget Jerry and let Rock Squeezy Jerry do his thing.
All right, man. So we on to this high school recap. I really only got one game to cover, and that was the LaSalle versus Bonner game. LaSalle, number 1 team in the state, came out on top, still the number 1 team in the state. Bonner came out sloppy, turnover after turnover early in the game, and then the next thing you know, it's going from there. You got to play mistake-free football to beat this team, man. They're so fundamentally sound on defense. They have the weapons on offense, and they still don't have Julian back, McFadden. So we're going to see if there's anybody who can run with them come playoff time. But as of right now, they're the cream of the crop. Bonner, I hope Bonner bounces back, because that's still a good team. Like I said, they started out sloppy. But it's going to be, we got about a couple weeks left, and that's when the dogs come out.
Yeah,
I
want to see a rematch from I would say about, I think it was before COVID, Emotep versus LaSalle, maybe in that 6th championship. You know what I mean? I want to see what that's looking like, man. That'll be a good game. It'll be a good game. Plus, they played each other. I want to say they played like 2019 around there at Springfield High School. It was a good back and forth game, but LaSalle ended up squeaking it out by 3, I believe. It's a long time ago.
Okay. Yeah. Man, like I
Wait.
said,
It's a big game this weekend, though, LaSalle.
yes, sir. No.
Hold. Mistake. My fault. Go ahead.
St. Joe's Prep versus
Yes.
Roman Catholic.
Yes. My fault.
That's gonna be the joint. I'm definitely pulling up. It's at Franklin Field Saturday night, 8:00. Make sure you're there. Me and my bleacher seat. I'm gonna have me a little hoodie on. You know what I'm saying? I'll be pulling up, and I'm in there like swimwear.
Right.
I don't know how I feel about this game because I think Prep might get the edge on them.
Ooh.
Only because Roman ain't good at them kids. Don't really like tackling like that on defense, man.
Okay.
Kids don't like tackling like that on defense. I've seen that in the Malvern Prep game, and then I've seen it again. I forget who else they played. Who was it they played? LaSalle? Was it? No. I forget who they lost. Oh, they lost to Bonner.
Yeah.
They lost to Bonner.
Yeah.
Kids, man, you got tackle, man. And Prep got a good running back. Real smart. He sees it and then he's going. Like they have a really good, and the defense is intact. Their corners are young. I like the young kid, number 20. I forget his name. It's not coming to me right now, but they're going to have to be able to stop Ian Stead. They're going to be able to stop Samaj Bills in that passing game. So we'll see how that goes. If they're able to stop Prep's run game, I think Roman can come out on top. But if Prep come out and just run the ball, it'll be a long day. Definitely a long day for Roman.
Got you. There was a game around here. It was a big upset, crazy upset. Downingtown West loses to Bishop Shanahan 28-22. Bishop Shanahan is a 4A school. They got no business being on the field with you as a 6A school. So that's a huge loss. Downingtown didn't drop in the standings. They're still sitting at 3rd and 6A standings. But that is a major upset last week in Philly Burbs school area. And then this week, CB West plays North Penn. North Penn already losing to CB South. Not putting up any points, only scored 6 points, didn't score any touchdowns, just 2 field goals, couldn't move the ball versus CB South. Let's see what West takes from that film and what they can do to stop Dick Beck's offense, even though North Penn is back after a struggling year last year. Let's see what they can do at CB West this Friday night at 7 during the Pink Out night. One last thing before we move on. I know we shouted him out on a post this Monday, but my guy Ty Teasley from Hapro Horsham going over 200 yards, over 20 carries, 2 tutties, and a reception for a touchdown by Chris Roughton, their quarterback, in a win on Thursday night. It was about a lot of Thursday night games because of the holiday. Thursday night game against William Tennant. So shout out to Ty Tees. Great job, my guy, my jumper at EHH for track. Good kid, good athlete. Proud of you, my guy. Way to step up for your team when you got a lot of injuries over there to get that win. So big win for Happer Horsham last week against Tennant, man. All right, man. Moving on to college, bro. We had big games. We had LSU versus Ole Miss, PSU, aka Penn State. Versus USC, and we had Oregon versus Ohio State. Listen, man, LSU and Penn State went into overtimes. Both of those teams won by 3. So good, hard-fought games. Like we said, there was going to be some good games this weekend. One overtime, won by 3. But one stat from the Penn State game, and USC should be ashamed of themselves. They let Warren, the tight end from Penn State, 17 catches, 224 yards, and a touchdown. You let a tight end beat all y'all like y'all stole something on Saturday morning. Or Saturday afternoon. Oh my goodness, a tight end, bro. But he was lining up everywhere. He was like a Swiss Army knife. He was out wide. He was in that tight end. He was back at running routes from back there. So he was a Swiss Army knife for them, like I said, for Penn State the whole entire afternoon before this game was over. But 17 catches and over 200 yards by a tight end. Come on, man. If you can't cover it, you shouldn't be out of there, man. It's time to get out.
Yeah.
So I know that film session was crazy come Sunday morning. I know. I've been in a few of those. Been in a few of those. Let's get to the Ducks beating the Buckeyes, man. It was a great back and forth game. Offensively, everybody got off that we thought was going to get off. Gabriel,
Basically.
yeah, man. Gabriel from Oregon went for 341 and 2 touchdowns, 23 of 34. James, the running back, man, I like him. He runs hard and he's fast too. Like Ashton. I'm not trying to compare him to Ashton Genty because we know what Ashton can do, but this also runs hard just like Ashton does. 23 carries, 115 yards and a touchdown. And our wide receiver Stewart, who was basically like brothers to Bo Nix, his family, Bo Nix's family, like took him in and adopted him.
Got you.
With a rough life, and he balled out. He stepped up on Saturday night, 7 catches, 149 yards and a touchdown. Howard for the Buckeyes, 28 of 35, 326 and 2 touchdowns. Smith, the freshman phenom,
he went off too, 100 yards.
It's just 100 yards and a touchdown. And whatchamacallit, 10 for 10, 10 targets, 10 Abuka, 10 targets, 10 catches, 93 yards and a touchdown. The thing is with both, what I liked about this game was back and forth. It was a good game. We knew it was going to be a good game. Atmosphere crazy at Oregon, but both quarterbacks took care of the ball. Both quarterbacks took care.
That's most important right there.
No interceptions. It was a fumble earlier in the game, but it wasn't from the quarterback. So it was a great game by them. And which is crazy. I know it's a high octane, like college is high octane, man. They get the up and down. Not many teams play good defense. Ohio State is known to have a good defense.
Number one defense in the league.
Right, but when both defense gives up 500 yards, 500 yards is crazy.
Super bad, John.
Come on now, we got to get some stops there. But we love the game. I love college football. I love watching it. You know what I mean? But what do you think moving forward does this do for both teams? Oregon with the big win, and then how do the Buckeyes regroup after this, knowing this is Ryan Day's MO when it comes to teams that he has to show he can beat that are going to be in that playoff this year?
Right.
Or is your tail going to be going between your legs every time you play a good team and you lose every single time? So what do you think this does for let's start with the winning team. What do you think this does for the Ducks?
This helps put them even more on the map because they've been kind of flying under the radar, and I've been kind of annoyed with them because they start out slow, just like Ohio State does. Ohio State will start out slow and then blow you out. Oregon will start out slow and still kind of beat you. Like the score, it'll be high. Like you would beat them handily, but it was closer than what it needed to be. Right. Both teams came to play that day, but it's still. We talked about this. We was like Oregon lost a lot of players, just like Washington lost a lot of players. Michigan lost a lot of players. So this is like a regroup and retool of these guys that are getting transferred in, guys moving up and everything like that. So I think this puts them on the map. That offense is starting to finally click and get intact. And so we'll see I don't know who else they got left that's tough for them to play. Let me see. Because if they went out, they might. I mean, they're at the 3rd seed right now. They play Purdue. Purdue is a tough match, but it's nothing crazy. I think they'll play Washington at the end. Washington beat them last year, but like I said, Washington lost a lot of players. They play Michigan. I think they'll beat Michigan.
Yeah, I don't think
they'll mess around and win out.
I don't think they lose before the playoff. They'll be and then see who they match up with in the Big Ten championship.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think they'll end up winning out. But both Ohio State and Oregon is going to play Michigan, so we'll see how Michigan comes out to play against both of those teams.
Right. We're gonna stick with college now. I want to ask you, my man, is Alabama frauds? Because last week they lose to Vandy, or 2 weeks ago now, they lose to Vandy, and then they almost lose again this past week. And this team had no business on the field with them in South Carolina. They had to come back late and win by 27-25. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what is going on with Milroe? Is everybody catching on now with the offense? And Milroe, he had 2 interceptions. He only threw for 209 yards, and he only rushed for 36. He had 2 touchdowns, but he only rushed for 36 yards. He's usually up there closer to the 70s and up, you know what I mean, along with getting 250 passing and then 2 touchdowns and maybe 1 interception or 2 touchdowns and no interception. So it's Bama frauds this year, even though
Brother man. What I tell you about that young boy, man? He's an athlete who can throw.
Oh, for sure.
And so now I think the teams are starting to see that, and I think they're scheming it. Just keep his man in the pocket, and let's see what he's gonna do.
Right.
Don't stay contained. Don't let him get off, because the second that he does get off, then it's a long day. Because he had 18 rushes. Again, he had 18 rushes and 36 yards. Like he had more carries than yards last week too.
Right.
So I think that, and you know it's bad when college starts to catch up to you. Like you didn't even get to like go crazy in college just to let the NFL come catch up to you like they did with Jalen Hurts.
Mm-hmm.
You're letting college catch up to you, and it's not looking good for you, brother. It is not looking good.
And they shut down Ryan Williams. Ryan Williams only had 4 catches for 32 yards.
Right. Yeah. So, that's just what it is. I think they were living and dying by his ability or what he was able to do. Now that's starting to catch up. Now, all right, that was that chess match. Now you need to make another move because your schedule ain't gonna get any easier for you later in the season, and you ain't gonna be able. You right now at the 7th, that could fall again.
Right.
It could fall again. You mess around, and not make the playoffs, bro.
Right, for sure. Before we get to the 2 top 10 matches, I want to say another matchup that was a very good game, back and forth at the end. Don't know why they was playing man coverage without their Heisman candidate and Travis Hunter. Colorado should have won that game against Kansas State.
Yeah,
gave it up by playing man coverage at the end. Press man at that without your best defender out there, and you give up a touchdown and they lose. For me as an athlete, coach, there's no such thing as moral victories. But I will say they played better than people thought they were going to play, because K-State doesn't hurt themselves. They've been very well coached for years on end now, and they played well against them. So let's see how this catapults. This loss can help Colorado moving forward for the season and Coach Prime. But the top 2 matchups we want to talk about is Bama at Tennessee. I think Tennessee wins the game. They have a great defense, not good. They have a great defense. They can stop anybody.
And the offenses,
corners are very good. The offense hasn't put up a lot of points like Heupel's offenses usually do. That quarterback, I think, their young quarterback is still getting his footing. But I think Tennessee does win at home. We'll see how Milroe can bounce back after 2 bad games in a row. And then UGA, them Georgia Bulldogs, are going down to Texas. Play some football. Down there with Matthew McConaughey. Yeah, man, I think I can't wait till both of them games. I will be locked in on that Texas UGA game. Yeah, but I am going. Yeah, we both going out. It's your birthday. I mean, I'm going to see it. Going to see my man TK Kirkland. So I'm going to hurry up and get on back so I can be locked into these games.
Right. You know, another game that's kind of a sleeper.
What's up, man?
Notre Dame, Georgia Tech.
Yeah, it's a sleeper, all right. I won't be watching it.
I ain't say as far as watching, but Georgia Tech, man, they making a dogfight for them. Because Notre Dame.
We're talking about Notre Dame, bro. The most overrated program in college football. They get talked about every single year. And what happened this year? They lost to Northern Illinois. Ain't nobody trying to talk about Notre Dame. I know some Notre Dame fans out there, but Notre Dame is trash. I want to hear you talking about Notre Dame, that y'all lose every single year to a team you should lose to, and then all of a sudden you make a run late. Oh, we should have been in the college playoff. We should have been. So what? You can lose in the champion or the first round in the championship? No one cares about the Irish, man. No one cares. No one cares.
He said bye. Anyway, Oh my God. Jeez. All right, you ready to do these NFL picks, man?
Yeah, man. Let's get it, man.
We got the Denver Broncos versus the Saints. Broncos are going to the Saints, and they're favored by 3.
Mm-hmm.
So stop sleeping on them Denver boys, man. Who you got?
Listen, man, I got the Broncos. On regardless of them going away and playing, it's going to be both rookies playing, Bo Nix
Mhm.
and Spencer Rattler. Spencer Rattler got to make his debut last week with Carr being out.
Yep. He put up yards.
Yep, he went 22 of 40, 243 yards, a tutty, and 2 picks, though. Turn the ball over. I know it's his first game, but he got to take care of the ball. But I don't blame the loss totally on him because this is the reason why I'm picking the Broncos. I know offensively, Tampa Bay's got more weapons than the Broncos, but this is the NFL, right? The Saints gave up 600 yards last weekend to the Tampa Bay Bucks. Sorry, let me be accurate. 597. I'm just rounding up. So 3 yards from 600 yards of offense. That is crazy. This is going back to when that's almost as bad as when the Broncos gave up 70 to Miami last year.
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not happening in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? So I believe the Broncos win this game. Bo Nix been starting all year. Even though he's a rookie, he's the better quarterback right now. The better defense is the Broncos, even though I'm a little disappointed in my upset. And I didn't pick them to upset the Chargers, but I picked them to beat the Chargers because of their defense, and they were nowhere to be found.
Yeah, they stunk it out.
People ran through them like they weren't even there.
Right.
So the Saints gave up 277 yards rushing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the Broncos should win this game. How about you?
Definitely, I'm on board with that. I think, and not even just that. Shaheed's going to be out too. Yeah, Shaheed's out. So now and I think Olave's out too.
Oh yeah, concussion. Yep.
Yeah, so they're both guys is out. So they're just going to be giving it to Kamara. I don't even know if Taysom Hill's came back. Did he come back? Did he play?
He did not play last week. No.
So he's still been out. So it's just going to be the Kamara show.
Yeah.
You can't do nothing with that at all, man. That's a loss for sure.
I look to
Bad times.
Broncos to bounce back after last week's disappointing performance at home. Go on the road, get a good win, get you guys rest up, come back the following week. So
put them at 4-3, man. Put them at 4-3. They winning games. Like I said, they under the radar.
Winning games, but
it ain't nothing crazy, but it's still that can shake things up towards the end. Like
Broncos,
that's kind of like
I think. Even though they're doing better, they're doing well. You know what I mean? Depending on how this season ends up for them, it's a long way to go. I think they're going to be very offensive heavy in the draft.
Oh, yeah.
And in the free agency to try to get some guys over there for Bo Nix. He needs some weapons. Cortland Sutton may be on the move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Before the trade deadline. They need a running back too, so I think they can be very offensive heavy. Mess around and get Ashton Genty before you get drafted. I don't think they'll draft a running back that high. They still got to protect Bo Nix, the franchise as well. So I think they'll be very offensive heavy, knowing that defense is very good no matter what.
Right, definitely.
Yeah, man.
All right, now ready for these Sunday picks?
Here we go, man. We got a couple games this Sunday. That are very marquee games. They're gonna be I believe they should be some really good games on. Who are you looking forward to watching this Sunday?
I got the Vikings over the Lions.
Ooh.
Vikings over the Lions, still undefeated because while they put belts to asses to the Cowboys, they secondary's ass, and they got away with a lot of contact and holds. And you got Justin Jefferson. He's a superstar, so you know he's going to get every call. You got Addison. I think they'll still be able to get that ball out. Your loss of Hutchinson, him being out,
totally
bad, John.
That we gotta talk about that too. We're gonna come back to that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the loss of Hutchinson is a bad, John, and I think that Brian Flores, he's just scheming, bro.
Yeah,
He's going to scheme up pressures to make Jared Goff uncomfortable. And so, yeah, I definitely got the Vikings winning that game. I got 2 more games that I got for my picks. I got the Seahawks over the Falcons,
Okay.
which I think is going to be a good game. But I think that the Seahawks' aggressiveness is going to make it tough for the Falcons to get that ball, to get their offense going. But granted, I said last week, 2 weeks ago, Kirk Cousins should get benched. Ever since I said that, homeboy been turning it up, man.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at you, First Cousins. You helping out my fantasy league, bro.
First,
Keep doing your thing. Keep doing your thing.
he is balling, and the Falcons are they 4-2, correct?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. But
Yep.
they're not using Bijan enough.
No, they not. But
Not using Bijan enough.
I think you could see this was coming though. You got Kirk to throw the ball, not to hand the ball off. You got the weapons on the outside. You got Drake London. You got Mooney. You got Pitts.
Tyler Pitts. Yeah.
Pitts is kind of picking it up, but not really. And then you got Algier. Him and Algier are splitting them carries.
Yeah, definitely. And my last pick I got the Niners over the Chiefs. Chiefs gonna get their first loss this year.
This week. Ooh.
Yep. Niners over the Chiefs.
Wow.
That's not my upset pick either.
No, okay. We're gonna get to that too.
That's not my upset pick either. Yeah, definitely got the Niners over the Chiefs. The Chiefs, they've been skating by beating teams due to them not having the weapons. Now you're going up against a team where the Niners, they've been flaky. It's so weird the way they've been losing games, and they'll start out hot or they have a good drive, nice drive, and the next thing you know, they just blow them and stuff. You know what it is with them? Once again, we talked about how they lost their pass rush step, 1 and 2. They corners his ass, bro.
Who?
Niners.
Oh.
They corners his ass. But I still think they'll end up coming out on top because I think the Chiefs corners his ass too. Outside of Young Bull. So I think Young Bull.
Young Bull now the South Africa. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. He's been playing well. Yeah. And remember, they just had a bye week, so coming off a bye. Niners is coming off the Thursday night, like a little mini bye. So a lot of teams, both teams will be well rested for that game.
Yeah, I still got the Niners. I got the Niners for that.
Okay. All right.
What's your guess?
I'm gonna do that one game last because we're gonna talk about that injury. But I looking into the division, the Eagles and Giants. Looking at that game, you got the Eagles coming off a horrible win. I don't know how any way to put it. A struggle win. You only win by 4 points over the Browns, a team that you should have just annihilated. Even though, I mean, you got your 2 best wide receivers coming back from injury, maybe a little sluggish, but the Browns is the Browns. You should have controlled them, even though they didn't score offensively. They scored off of a blocked punt and then a bunch of field goals, but they should have won by more than 4. And then the Giants, man, even though the Giants, and everybody talks so much about Daniel Jones and how he plays and how he either wins you the game or loses the game. That defense, underrated defense, has been keeping them in games with a lot of injuries on that side too. So I'm not going to put that game and just say Eagles should win, yes, but I'm not going to be surprised if the Giants win, especially if their defense keeps them in the game and then Daniel Jones makes a few plays here and there, because the Eagles secondary is not that good either, and neither is their defense. So they're not getting any pass rush at all, and the Giants are getting the pass rush even without Thibodeau. Burns was going crazy last week, or Sunday night against the Bengals. He did his thing. Chiefs, I got the Chiefs over the Niners. I don't know what you smoking over there, but I know what you're drinking over. There.
My glass is done. I'm done for the night.
I got Chiefs over the Niners only because I think the Chiefs only have to focus on one thing, and that's the run game. Brock Purdy hasn't played really well this year, so I believe if they stop the run game, get pressure on Brock, and make him one-dimensional, Brock, come beat me, because we already know Patty Mahomes can beat you by himself, regardless of who he has, whether he has Tyreek Hill, whether he's got speed, or whether he's just got mediocre guys out there and Valdez-Scantling and dropping the ball, Tony and all them dropping the ball. But even if the Niners win, what does this do for them? Y'all beat them in the regular season? Nah, we need You gotta
like
beat
a
them.
moral victory thing.
Yeah, you gotta beat them in the Super Bowl if y'all see them in the Super Bowl again. So even if the Niners, sorry, not the Steelers, even if they win, it does nothing for them. And for me, it's hard trying. I don't know who I got. I'm just looking forward to see this game, the Vikes versus the Lions, because the Lions is home and they hard to beat at home. Vikings coming off a bye, that's good for them. But Lions are also in rhythm right now. So I don't know. I'm gonna say toss up for that one.
No, Negro. No, Negro. No, Negro. You better pick your goddamn pick.
I gotta be all that though. I gotta be all that.
You better pick your goddamn pick, bro. Come on.
I'm going to pick the Vikings as well because of the defense. And what we got to talk about right now is the major loss in Aiden Hutchinson, the leading sack man in the NFL before his injury on Sunday versus the Cowboys, a broken tibia. He had to go into immediate surgery. We wish him a speedy recovery, man. What do you think this does for that pass rush and that defense now? Does this put more pressure on them DBs? Does this put more pressure on the offense to now having to score touchdowns and not field goals when they get in that green zone? Sorry, I don't call it the red zone, call it the green zone. Green zone means you got to go, you got to score. And does it put pressure on the organization to possibly sign a pass rusher? I was thinking, all right, Aiden's hurt. Do they before all this Drew Rosenhaus stuff started happening? Do they go after Hassan Reddick?
I don't know if they got the money because they paid a lot of guys.
Mm-hmm.
They just paid a lot of guys, so I don't know if they had the money to do that. But this definitely helped.
Extended Montgomery too.
Right. This definitely hurts a lot of, and I think a lineman too. But this definitely hurts them because Aiden Hutchinson, him alone was causing so much havoc. He needed to get double teamed and chipped. So now, and it was already a one-man wrecking crew, just like how they got it with T.J. Watt and just how they got it with Max Crosby. Yeah. Now you had your one-man wrecking crew
and goes down
out, and he's down. And so now it's like, all right, so you're going to keep sending blitzes, or what you going to do? Because once again, like I told you, their secondary is ass, bro. It's super ass. They play physical. The rookie corner still plays like he's a college corner. A lot of contact.
He's good.
He's been
playing well.
He is, but once again, when it's Justin Jefferson you're going up against, the superstar, so you know he's going to get calls. You know he's going to get calls. So, yeah, it puts a lot on that back end. They secondary ass, bro. Them dudes, yeah, they ass. They physical, and it depends on the refs that you get. You can get away with it, but for the majority, trash, bro.
Hey. One more time, though. Speedy recovery for Aiden.
Yeah,
hope he does well in balling. You know me in the Michigan DN defensive lineman. I don't get along with them because they ain't do well for us, and I didn't want us to draft him. But Aiden has proved me wrong because I wasn't real high on him because of the lack of production from defensive linemen on Michigan over the years, starting with Taco Charlton. Yeah, we remember that pick. But Aiden, speedy recovery, man. When we come back next year and ball out like you've been balling your first couple years in the league. And big shout outs to one more shout out before we get out of episode picks. Big shout outs to the NFC North. The Vikings are 5-0 and everybody else is 4-2 in that division. Everybody's going to probably get in that division because NFC ain't. Yeah. I mean, that's crazy. Actually, not everybody's going to get in. Somebody's going to miss out because you got 4 division winners and then you only got
right. Yeah. Yep.
Somebody, if all those teams finish with a winning record, whether they're 10-7, 11-6, somebody gonna miss out because of a tiebreaker, and that's gonna suck because all those teams are playing very well right now. 3-game winning streak for Caleb Williams and #1 pick in the Bears. All right, bro. Who you got for your upset? We got 5 minutes. Let's get it in.
You ready?
If you say mine, I'm going through this computer, but I don't think you're gonna say mine though.
I ain't gonna say yours.
Nope.
I got the Giants over the Eagles.
Oh, that's why you was making that face when I was talking about it.
Yeah, dog. I got the Giants over the Eagles. Malik Neighbors will be back.
Oh, yes, he will. Yeah.
Neighbors will be back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at it like this, that defense, just like you was there, because I was like, damn, don't take my notes. Don't take my notes. The Giants, bro, 26 sacks this year.
Balling.
26 sacks. Eagles, 11 sacks.
Right.
That ain't it.
They're not getting to the quarterback.
They're gonna put pressure on Hurts, just like last year when he called up the D coordinator, said, "Yo, what you do?" Because I can't see what's going on.
Right.
They're gonna be blitz heavy and aggressive, but I think the Giants might pull it off. Daniel Jones, the Giants, they upset them last year. Daniel Jones beat them, I think, the year before that too. The Giants.
Tyrod Taylor beat them last year.
Yeah, I know Tyrod did, but
McCall was hurt. He was hurt both games.
Right, but I think it was a year or two before that Daniel Jones beat them when he went on that crazy run and he fell by himself. Remember that?
Yeah. I got you.
So I don't know. I mean, we'll see. That's my upset. It's a reach, but
we also know how Kellen Moore gets down. But if you give the ball to Saquon Barkley, it opens up everything else. You already got all the spacing. Give the ball to him. You got 5-6 guys in the box.
Mm-hmm.
The ball to Saquon.
Yeah, he don't do that, bro.
I don't know.
Does
Jalen have control of the offense where he can just audible out? Because it doesn't seem like he's audible out of place. That's just me.
He does at certain times, but for the most part, I don't. I think he don't even get down with that offense in general.
Right.
So, that's on the GM. That's on the office. That's on the coach for doing that. You're trying to make this dude something that he, you know what I mean? You want your, especially your quarterback, to be comfortable and playing his best ability at everything he does. You see Lamar, what they do there. They run that offense and that scheme strictly just for him, for a reason. You should be doing that there.
All right, my upset pick, even though I was scared to do it, but then you know what I said? I said, you know what? Forget it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna stick with it. They benched my man, even though I don't think they should have benched him. I got the Steelers over the Jets. Making all this noise about maybe with Devontae Adams coming in. They making all this noise of possibly signing Hassan Reddick, but it ain't gonna happen before Sunday Night Football. And then you got the Steelers, who I think did not make the right decision in starting their start. Says all things are leading up to Russ starting this week. But the Jets defense hasn't been really playing that well. So,
right.
But if I think that Russ starts off slow and they ain't getting what they want, insert Fields, and Fields is starting for the rest of the year. Fields gets the win for the Jets, then they gonna beat the Jets Sunday Night Football, and this could be Fields coming out party if he comes off the bench and wins this game and seals the deal, gets an extension for this contract for the next year too. So I got the Steelers, you got the Giants. I like our picks going out on limbs these last couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's tough. It's a bad job.
I like it. I like it. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our show. We thank y'all for joining us here on StreamYard. We thank you for joining on YouTube. We thank you for joining on Instagram. Got a couple fantasy questions on Instagram. My boy Austin Hurl, one of my former athletes. Appreciate it. Everybody joining in this tonight. So listen, like we always say, we appreciate y'all for listening. We thank you for coming in. And you know what it is, man. We will be back next week. We're going to be live next week, too. We coming live with y'all. Y'all want to be live? Also, we thinking about possibly getting some people on next week. Maybe next week. Figure it out. We're going to let y'all know before we shoot this week. This weekend. Like always, thank you. See you when I see you.